Happy Halloween, guys. This is Tyrai521 with my second of my 2 planned Halloween videos for this year. In this one, we have my LEGO custom-painted Psycho minifigures. This is a project I've wanted to do for a very long time because I wanted to try out something unique. This was something that I was actually planning on doing last Halloween, but I never got around to it because school-wise and figure-wise, I had a lot on my plate, so I just, couldn't find the time for it. So I decided to make it my main Halloween figure project for this year. And that was that I wanted to do them in a black and white color scheme. Of course, I painted the 2 main characters from the film, Norman Bates and Marion Crane, and they're painted using all gray and black paints. And I am very proud of the way they turned out. I've gotten a lot of positive feedback from these guys on Instagram, which I really appreciate because I spent a lot of time, well, they weren't necessarily complicated figures, but they were very fun figures to kind of work out, like, what color am I going to use for this? How am I going to, pull that off? What do I want to use for blood, So it was just a really fun process making these guys. It's something unique that I haven't seen many or really anybody do. And yeah, I'm really proud of them, so we're going to go ahead and get started right away with Norman Bates. So starting off here, of course, we have Norman Bates, played brilliantly by Anthony Perkins. He writes a very fine line between insane and kind of funny, too. Just a very great performance. I've never seen any of the sequels to the Psycho because I've heard they're just awful, but I know he came back for them, so I might consider going back and watching them despite the negative reviews just to see his terrific performance. But Hitchcock's Psycho is one of my favorite films, not even one of my favorite horror films, just one of my favorite movies of all time. Probably the best thriller ever made. It's probably more of a thriller than a horror, if I'm being completely honest, but it's Halloween, I want to do something horror-themed, so here you go. So starting off with him, as you can see, he has a yellow face that I painted gray. You can see I kind of, I left the smile, the eyes, and the eyebrows intact. But I repainted on, or rather, this wasn't traces, just kind of from my own. I just painted on freely the forehead wrinkles as well as the mouth wrinkles, just to kind of capture Anthony Perkins' likeness better. If we take a look at the torso, you can see he's painted in this this kind of suit jacket thing that he wears throughout a lot of the film. And he's got like a suit jacket and just like a button-up shirt underneath. So I got some pockets painted on as well as the lapels of the jacket. And his little kind of raggedy belt or whatever just kind of hanging off to the side right there. You can see it's kind of a small little belt that's just kind of, painted on there. He's got black shoes painted on. His skin color is actually the same color of gray that I used for the undershirt, which is kind of funny. If we turn him around, you can see you just got the back of the back of his suit jacket, with some details. You got like the, different wrinkles and the back of the collar or whatever. So just, continuation of the shoes. So, very basic details. His arm was probably the most fun part of this figure to make, or at least in terms of like just this pose. Was that I took a bat wing piece, like how Man Bat and the bats from the collectible minifigure series have the arms where they're outstretched. They've got the bat wing underneath. What I did was I just kind of cut off the bat or the wing part of it, sanded it down a little bit, and then I just kind of had it an arm that was kind of in an upright position. So I decided to use that for, ever since I saw that piece, I thought, if I cut off the bat wing, what kind of pose could I use this for? And the first thing that always pops to my mind is a stabbing pose for a Norman Bates figure, and I finally got to do that, and I'm really, really happy I finally got to do something with that idea. So he's holding, of course, the knife, which is just like a brick arms knife. That's painted just in a light gray for the silver of the blade, and then dark gray splashed on there for the blood. So I'm really happy with the use of dark gray for blood. If we kind of turn it around, you can see there's the other side, a better look kind of at it. And then he's just got the cuffs of his suit jacket painted on the edge of his sleeves on both sides there, and yeah, just a really fun figure to make. And yeah, I'm really happy with him. So yeah, there is Mr. Norman Bates. And of course, next up we have Marion Crane, played wonderfully by Janet Leigh, of course the mother of Jamie Lee Curtis, kind of the original Scream Queen, who then gave birth to another Scream Queen from Halloween, of course, which is kind of a funny little fact that I just found out recently. I was like, oh my god, that's her mom. That's really cool. But of course for her, she's also painted in the same black and white color scheme. Got a little hair there. There we go. If we take a look kind of at her torso, Actually, we'll start with the face since I'm already focused on it. Her face was just a yellow skin figure with, I painted on the cheekbones, but I left the eyes, the mouth, and the eyebrows. You know, I kind of just traced around those, and then I painted on the cheekbones as well as the little line underneath her chin there. Her torso, as you can see, is kind of like this little dress thing that she wears throughout a lot of the film. You can just see, like, you know, different crease lines. You can see kind of her belt down at the bottom there, as well as the buttons kind of leading up it, and the collar of it. Just lines showing her figure. And then her skirt, I used a actual, like, cloth piece, like Lego. You know, sometimes they'll give figures skirts and they'll use, like, you know, cloth pieces for it. And I never usually do that with custom figures, but I couldn't think of another way to achieve this without using, like, electrical tape or construction paper, and I knew both of those wouldn't work very well. So I decided to use an official Lego skirt cloth piece and just paint over it, and it actually worked pretty great. Thinking back, I probably should have done this for my Daenerys figure from Game of Thrones, but maybe I'll do that someday in the future, but for now, you know, she's fine. So yeah, I really like the way it looks in this one. You see I just painted it gray, as well as, you know, painted some crease lines on the side of it, you know, continued onto the side, but it's hard to see, you know, onto the back. And then there's the back torso details, just more, you know, the back of her belt and her collar and some more crease lines. Her arms are a light gray to match her skin tone, and you see you just got two black lines kind of showing the sleeves or whatever, the cuffs of the sleeves, whatever you want to call them. And then you see she's got her high heels painted onto her feet there. You can see they kind of round at the front and then kind of go up in the back because they are high heels, of course. And then her hair was probably the most challenging part of this, because she has a kind of like a very like 1950s looking haircut, and there was really no Lego piece to capture it best, so I wasn't quite sure what I was going to do. But I ended up going with kind of like that bowl cut teenager haircut. You know, they've used it on like Ron Weasley in the past, and they've used it like in the CMF. I think the CMF is kind of where it started, or where they first started using it. But what I did is I kind of used that bowl cut hair piece, or not a bowl cut, but the it has kind of like the swish kind of to it. It has like a very teenager looking hairstyle. But I cut off the front of it and then sculpted the front of it to kind of create the bowl-like shape that it, or kind of like the curly shape that it has in the film. Because the back and the sides of it look very much like her hairstyle in the movie, but it was just kind of the front that I didn't quite know how I was going to capture it. So I figured the only way I could really do it and make it look accurate was with sculpt. And, you know, the sculpt looks good. It could have been better, I suppose, but I just didn't want to go back and redo it, especially not with Halloween so close by the time I was finishing this figure. So I'm pretty happy with it. You know, I think it looks pretty good, especially with my sculpting abilities, which aren't that great compared to other people in the community, but I think it looks pretty good. I'm pretty fun. I painted her hair in a different shade of gray from anything. It was actually my older shade of gray that I used to use before I got my current dark gray paint. Because her hair in the movie, it's blonde, so I thought about making it white, but it's not like pure blonde. It's kind of like a dirty blonde. So I didn't want it to be too bright, and I couldn't make it my standard light gray because that's the color of her skin. So it looked like it would look like her hair was an extension of her face, so it looked kind of odd. So I kind of opted for this gray that is like a mix between my dark gray and my light gray, and I think that kind of captures the dirty blonde color of her hair fairly well. I think it looks pretty good, so I'm pretty proud of that. And yeah, so let me know what you guys think of these figures. I really think they're some of my more unique figures, and I think it's actually, it was just fun to finally tackle this project that I wanted to do for so long. So yeah, let's go ahead and close out this video. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Let me know what you think of these figures down in the comments. I really, like I said, they were a blast to make, and I'm really proud of them. I really hope you guys appreciate it, or hope you like the 2 Halloween videos I put out this year. I thought it was a good, you know, assemblage of horror characters to make. I am yet to finish. He is a work in progress as I'm doing this video right now. But I'm working on a Jack Torrance from The Shining. I just got the pieces the other day, and I am currently working on him. I wanted to have him done by Halloween, but school kind of got in the way, so I never got around to it. But I would like to have him completed and posted by the release of Dr. Sleep, which is about a week from the time you guys will be seeing this video. So I think I can manage that. He's already probably like halfway done, or at least a third of the way done. and I think he's shaping up to be a pretty cool figure. So I'm sorry I couldn't showcase him tonight, but I should have him posted by the time Dr. Sleep comes out. So like I said, let me know what you guys think of these figures down below, what your favorite part of them was, or what your favorite of the two is. And yeah, until next time guys, happy Halloween. I hope to be posting more consistently now. And yeah, I will see you in the next one. Peace out. She just goes a little mad sometimes. We all go a little mad sometimes.